Hello and welcome back to your mat. Today's class is going to be centered around an all-fours position, so we're going to use that as our base pose. So this is a great class when you want some movement and some stretch. Maybe you don't want quite as intense like with all the down dogs and the planks and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to skip all of those and we're going to stay low to the ground, or my hands and knees position, and get some good movement in. If you know that you need to pad up your knees, I know I do, a blanket, a towel, something underneath your knees would be great. You don't need a prop, you don't need this, but this is great to have if you know that you need to pad up your knees a bit. So we'll get started with a quote by Emmett Ray. Yoga is the artwork of awareness on the canvas of body, mind, and soul. Yoga is the artwork of awareness on the canvas of the body, mind, and soul. Emmett Ray. So let's go ahead and grab that blanket if you are using it, or towel. And you have a couple of options. You could do it, you can make it more like a rectangular here and make it longer so it goes underneath your knees and maybe underneath your palms. Or you can have it just under your knees. So whatever is going to work best for you, you decide what's good for you today. I'm going to go with my knees and my wrist for fun. Why not? So you decide, go ahead and get yourself set up. We're going to come to a tabletop position here. So you're going to start on all fours. And from here, we're just going to stretch that right leg. I'm going to actually move it a little bit more. You might want to do the same. You want to give yourself some room here, especially if you want to keep that foot on the mat. Okay, so from here, you're going to go ahead and stretch that right foot back. And we're just going to do a calf stretch here. So you're going to stay in your tabletop position with a nice neutral flat back. But you're just going to step that right foot back. And you can rock back and forth a bit if you like here. But you're really just trying to give that calf a nice stretch. So go ahead and stretch back so your toes are on the ground, but you're bringing your heel back toward the back edge of your mat. And you should really feel something there in your calf there. And then from there, go ahead and bring your right knee back to the ground. And now we're just going to roll that hip in circles. So we're going to go ahead and stay on the right side. So I'm just going to roll my right hip around in circles. So you're kind of bring your knee out to the back, to the side, to the front here a little bit. Just giving yourself a nice circular motion. And there is some strengthening here involved because you are on all fours. But we're also really helping to lube up that hip joint. And let's go the other direction. A couple of cycles the other way. Breathing through all of these poses as usual. And then go ahead and drop that right knee down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to thread the right arm underneath. So bring your right arm underneath of you. And we're going to bring the opposite leg out to the side. So thread your right arm behind your left, bringing your right shoulder down and your forehead, the right side of your forehead down. And then bring that right foot out. You can also, if you decide this is too much, stay in all fours. But this is also a nice little stretch here while we're giving ourselves a little shoulder opener there. So breathe here. And you'll notice I always tell you to breathe and really watch your breath. So I hope if there's one thing you learn from my yoga classes is breath is really important in yoga. Another inhale and exhale. And then go ahead and come back up. And now we're going to go to the other side. Breath is definitely important in yoga, so always remember to breathe. Go ahead and step that left foot back. And again, we're just opening up that calf, giving a nice little stretch there. We don't do this often enough for our calves, and they could really use it. So give yourself a nice long stance here. If you want to rock back and forth a little bit, you can, or you can stay static. But your left toes are tucked under, and that left heel is going back toward the back edge of your mat, so you really feel that in your calf. For those of you that have ever dealt with plantar fasciitis in the bottom of your foot, this calf stretch is really helpful for helping with that. So working on those calves occasionally. Another inhale and exhale. Go ahead and bring that knee back, and now we're just going to roll the left hip in circles here into that joint. So you can make this a little free form, whatever feels best for you. You can go as high or low as you want. You don't have to go out. You don't have to make a big circle, or you can. Whatever feels best. You're really just giving some lubrication to that joint, rolling around the socket. And let's go the other direction. And I can hear kind of a little bit of a little popping going on there. It's perfectly normal if you do hear that. Don't be alarmed. And then bring that leg back down. And now we're going to thread the needle going the opposite direction. So we're going to have the left arm and then the right leg will be out if you want to have your leg out. So left arm down, come down onto your left side here, left shoulder. And if you're doing it, go ahead and stretch that the right leg out to the right. And twist your body a little bit over there to the right-hand side. Feel that nice stretch and little shoulder opener there. Breathing, inhale, and exhale through the nose. Another inhale and exhale. And then come all back up to all fours again. So from here, back to all fours. So a nice neutral spine. Here's neutral spine. So this is a flat back as best you can get. And then we're going to inhale, tilt the pelvis forward, and we're going to look up with our chest. So you got this little dip here in your back. And exhale and round it in. So go ahead and push up with the floor, through the floor, doming your upper back, lower back. Inhale. And back to the position where you've got the little dip in your back. So you're looking forward. Exhale and round in. Inhale, look up, tilt the pelvis, exhale and round in. Inhale, look up, exhale, round in. And then come back to a nice neutral spine here. And now we're just going to step that right foot forward. So one leg forward. And then again, if you need to move if your blanket's in the way, do what you need to do there. I'm actually going to move mine, I think, a little bit here. So we're just going to come forward into a nice deep lunge here. And this is, again, where the padding's going to help on the knee, especially if you have really sensitive knees or you're on a hard surface. So inhale and look forward and really come out of your chest here. Open up the chest. Instead of rounding in, we're going to open up and look out in front of you. And then go ahead and place that right hand down. And then exhale and bring that right arm up overhead, and you're going to twist to the right. You can always bring this arm back down behind you if you like. I kind of like this variation. So I'm really looking behind me and really get a nice twist here. Another breath, inhale and exhale here. Stay for a moment, feel that sensation. And then exhale and bring your hands back down to the ground and come back to, all fours. And then from all fours, we're going to do a little balance challenge here. So here we go. So we are skipping the planks and the down dogs, but there is still some strengthening involved here. So we're going to go ahead and bring that right arm out in front of us and the left leg back behind us. So opposite arm and leg, and this is balancing table. Breathe here. Exhale, drop it back down. Now we're going to come back into that again, and this time we're going to do a quad stretch. And what you're going to do is bring that right arm around to grab a hold, I'll show you, to grab a hold of your left leg. If that doesn't work for you, I'll show you a variation. So come back into your balancing table, get your balance, and then reach around and grab a hold of, bending that left knee, that left leg, and reaching for it. If you cannot grab it with your hand, keep with your balancing and just bend your knee with your foot pointed up towards the sky, the left foot that is. And exhale, let that back down. You know, that can be a little bit of a challenging pose. All right. So we did that one. Now we're going to go ahead and come back to all fours. We're going to do a couple of cat-cows. I'm just going to roll this mat up a little, or my blanket a bit more for my knees. So go ahead and come back to your cat-cows, looking forward, arching that back. Exhale, round in. Inhale, look forward, arch your back. Exhale and round in. Inhale and look forward, arch your back. And exhale, round in. So you know where we're going on the next side, you know where we're going on the other side. So go ahead and step that left foot forward. We're going to come into that low lunge. So go ahead and bend deeply into that front knee. Remember, we're looking out. So instead of rounding in and looking down, we're opening the chest up and we're looking out in front of us. And you can have a wider stance here too if you'd like. So really breathe there. Another inhale and exhale. And then from there, go ahead and place that right hand down on the ground, on the mat, And inhale, bring that left arm up overhead, or if you like the variation on the other side, go ahead and bring it behind you. So now you're twisting to the left, you're looking over that left shoulder. Stay here and breathe for a moment. And go ahead and bring both of your hands back to the mat. And now we're going to do the balancing table on the other side. So we're going to start out with balancing table, opposite hand and foot. So the left leg arm is going to go out and the right leg will go back. Now if you find this is too much, you can always just do the leg or just the arm. I should have said that on the first side. So go ahead and choose what variation works for you. But if you feel you've got the balance there and you want to have a little challenge, breathe here. That's the hardest part, is you want to hold the breath, breathe, drop it back down, and now we're going to do that little quad stretch. So again, if it doesn't work for you to grab the opposite leg, you can always bring that leg, bend it, and just bring your foot going up, your right foot going up. So let's come back into our balancing table, and then if you've got it, go ahead and reach back for the quad stretch. And you'll see I'm twisting a little bit to the left here too. So left arm, left hand has the right foot, opposite foot. Breathe there, and then exhale and let that go. Gonna come back to all fours for just another couple of rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round in. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round in. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale and round in. Come back to a neutral spine. And then from here, we're going to sit back on our heels and we're going to stretch forward into a nice child's pose to end class. So move the blanket out of the way if you like, or keep it under your knees. I'm sitting on my heels here. Your seat may be further up, and if it is, the blanket's great for sitting underneath of your seat to come into child's pose. So you might find this works better for you when you stretch forward. And you can either stay up on your forearms. I'm going to stay in this variation just to show it to you, or you can come all the way down with your forehead to the ground. Whatever works for you. And I'm also going to show it with the blanket here. So you can have a blanket here or not, but it does help if your seat doesn't come all the way down to have that extra little to fill in that space. So we're just going to stretch out here a little bit and just let all of that go. Nice, short, but effective practice to help with your strengthening. We got some stretching in there, but we stayed out of the down dogs and the plank poses and such. So sometimes just coming from that one pose of the down or the all fours can be a very, very effective class. Breathing there. One more breath in through the nose. Nice deep inhale. And then a nice long exhale. You can sigh it out if you like. For those of you that have more time, and we do have a little bit more time actually, so if you would like, we're going to go ahead and lie back in a Shavasana. So I'm going to go ahead and guide you through that for about a minute or so. So for those that would like to, go ahead and lie back in a Shavasana. So lie on your mat, stretch out your legs, your arms are stretched out, you're lying flat. Just release everything in the mat, and we're going to stay here for just about a minute. Breathing there, and notice how you feel after this short but effective practice, hopefully for you. I'll let you know when the time is up, so I'll bring you out here in just a moment, but just let everything go into the mat. Really release it all and see how you feel. A lot of times we want to skip this pose, but this one I would argue is the most important pose in a yoga practice. It helps bring all of that class and inward, and you can feel those benefits. Take a few deep inhales and exhales through your nose. And release that. And I'll leave you there. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next class. Thanks for practicing with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day.